Welcome, everybody, to the very next episode of The Remedy with Tova Sido and
Janice Gaunt and
Tom Bridwell.
Seems like it's been so long.
I feel like we say that every time because we take too long in between. And this week was I think it was my fault.
Oh, well, I was gone.
Well, you were
but
gone.
I might have gone.
No, I messed up last week. I can't remember why. I forgot to put us on the calendar, and I made an appointment.
Well, 2 days is better than nothing.
That's
2 days
right.
late is better.
That's exactly
Totally agree.
right.
So, you know what? I think our listeners are going to live.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
A lot of people do wait for the Monday drop. No pressure, Tom.
This will be up easily by dinner time tonight.
Okay, perfect.
But they don't know that until I do it.
Well,
That's right.
that they'll know it when they hear it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So Tom is looking fine.
I mean,
Tom is losing weight, and Tom, you are looking good.
Thank you.
yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, he opened the
you very
door
much.
today, and I'm like, well, hot damn.
You know, it was time. Lose a little weight and, start caring about what I put in my mouth.
Well, we're
Yeah.
going to talk about that in a future episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really, you look fantastic.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you really do.
Is it helping your confidence?
I think I was always pretty confident.
Yeah, I think so too.
but-
You've never
true.
been.
I definitely just
You've never
feel,
suffered in that department.
No.
I feel good. It is definitely affecting my psyche. That is for sure.
Oh, that's
Well,
great.
plus
Yeah.
you feel better
It's just
physically,
carrying
so
around
that's gonna.
35 less pounds is like, it's like I can walk through a brick wall.
Yeah, that's really good.
35 pounds is a toddler.
It is.
Or
Yeah.
Betty, probably.
Yeah, yep, pretty close.
Yeah.
Beanpole.
Interesting.
She's so skinny.
Yeah.
She's so cute. How much does she weigh? She's
Gosh, I
third
want to say
or
like
fourth grade?
42 or 43 pounds.
Yeah,
Maybe
she's
I'm wrong,
She's
but-
a peanut.
She's
you lost
skinny.
Betty.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy to think about.
Maso
I know.
Menos.
I know.
Lost a child. Okay, so today we are going to talk about if you plan to be married for a long time, you might consider asking yourself these difficult questions. So we are going to have to assess whether or not we think they're that difficult or not. But I thought it could be like a challenging exercise, not only for us to talk about, but for our listeners to do
Yeah.
in their marriage.
Yeah.
So there's 7 questions. I think I would like to guess that everybody who gets married plans to be married for a long time. Do you think there is anybody who gets married who thinks it's probably not going to last?
I don't know. Maybe if
Yes.
they're not getting along very well when they get married, they probably do think that.
That like I'm going to just go through with it, but it's probably not going to last. Why
There's
you
the
said
pe-
that
the-
so emphatically? What makes you say that,
There's
Tom?
people out there that use the marriage as a Band-Aid for the relationship, like the last-ditch effort to try to save it. I'm sure there's guys out there that have proposed because they thought they were about to lose their girl. Or,
Well, I was going to say, I think the guy is more, because I think a lot of times the woman will push the marriage.
Gives
and
the
if the guy's,
ultimatum.
and gives them the ultimatum.
I'm sure that happens as well.
And I
But
understand that.
Yeah,
I do
feel
too.
like
If they're
Yeah.
ready and you've been dating for years and you're ready to
Well, or even.
get this party started,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's just dragging his feet. And so then he's thinking, okay, I either have to do it or I'm going to lose her. I'm not 100% convinced that I want to do it, but I know for sure I don't want to lose her, so I might as well get engaged.
Yeah.
That'd be tough.
he needs to S or get off the P.
Yeah.
I've never heard that, but that's great. Totally agree. Okay, so if you plan to be married, if you're a listener and you want to stay married as long as possible, this might be a fun exercise for you to do with your spouse. So the first question is, has your to-do list been taking priority over your emotional and intimate connection? Oh, I would say that at some point in every marriage, the answer to that would be yes.
Yeah. Like if Survivor's playing.
For you.
For me. I'm sorry. I've got to watch this episode of Survivor. I've been dying to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're not interested in having a big intimate sit-down dinner or go upstairs and have a 2-hour...
A roll in the hay.
Yeah, 2-hour roll in the hay.
2 hours? Good gravy.
Yeah, that would not be me or Tom.
That's hilarious. But I do think that over time, if this starts to, like if the to-do list becomes more important than the intimacy, like taking the time to see or be seen emotionally or intimately, physically, I think that it could take its toll.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, but some people have to work. I mean, you know,
and they have young kids and they come home, they have soccer practice and then they have a game. And
those are all those to-do things, you know.
It's hard.
So, Yeah,
I think it just really takes people being intentional to pay attention to their relationship.
Yep.
How important, Tom, is your emotional, intimate connection? Do you guys make time for that?
I would say that that's probably one of my biggest weaknesses is intimacy.
But the emotional...
Yeah, I mean...
The emotional intimacy, like talking about feelings.
I have no problem talking about feelings, but maybe the fact that we don't very often means that everything's okay for the most part.
Sure. I'm not saying create problems.
Like the way this is written, this is definitely something that we experience. Both of us probably prioritize our to-do list over some intimate connection. But we make time for that stuff. We went just this weekend. Maureen got some free night at the Jewel.
Oh, that's fun.
So we got my parents to watch Betty, and we went to the Jewel, and it was literally. But like I said earlier, It was nap in the afternoon, dinner, and then television. Like it was, and then waking up without Betty coming in the room. Like those were the priorities.
Yeah.
Like enjoying all the things that we want to enjoy without the kid.
Yeah.
So do you think, I mean, this is my opinion. I'd love to hear what the two of you think, but I think as long as both people are on the same page about that emotional and or intimacy level, as long as you both share, like, we're going to go to the Jewel and this is what it's going to be, and this is what it's probably not going to be, and then, but like, let's just say I went to the Jewel with Craig and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a weekend of real connection and a lot of emotional feelings and a lot of talking and a lot of connecting, and he's thinking the same as you, like, we're just going to eat, nap, and wake up together, and then I am disappointed. So I think as long as you're on the same page about what you want and what you're getting, it's fabulous.
Well, but sometimes you're not going to be on the same page. Sometimes you're going to be thinking, let's say you've had a week or 2 weeks of arguing or complaining or something like that, and then you go and you think one of you thinks that this is going to be this big emotional and intimate connection, and you just are not there. You just don't feel it because you've had a hard... Relationships are not zippity-doo-dah, and there are relatively frequently, there'll be a place where you're just not that excited about it, you know?
Yeah.
Or just really, really, really tired. And you feel like, you know what? I've worked all day
Or I've worn out from the kids.
yeah, all of that.
Everybody pulling on me, and now you're pulling on me.
And you want to
The dinner portion of the night was like a good 90 minutes of great conversation without Betty. But so
That's
we
intimate
were able
to
to,
me.
if there was anything that needed to be discussed, if she had wanted to talk about anything, that was her chance. And there was not a moment where we were trying to find something to talk about. It was flowing like wine.
well, the wine might made it flow a little better.
Always.
But and that is, I do think that I think it's more fun and it's easier if you do you go someplace for a really nice dinner, and maybe you say, hey, let's make this kind of a really deep chat dinner. If there's something that's bothering you or something that's bothering me, let's try to talk about it. Or if you don't want to talk about anything, then you plan that before you go. Let's not make
this a heavy dinner.
Yeah.
Can we just go and have a good time?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Let's not talk about finances, kids, or our future. Let's just talk about silly things.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Tech football.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Now that's fun. We'll talk about that. And basketball. And they're so good at basketball, too.
But I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I do, too.
I like it.
I do, too.
Okay, you want to take the next one?
Okay. If you plan to be married a long time, ask yourself these difficult questions. Have you been expressing more feedback and criticisms than appreciation and love?
Oof. That's a good one.
Yeah, that would, yeah.
That appreciation and love needs to definitely, for me, outweigh feedback and criticism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I actually think if we look at our relationships on balance, I think most of us have a lot more good than we do negative, but we tend to gravitate or focus on what we're not getting or what they're not doing. But I like this one. It's just remembering to appreciate and express.
Well, and trying really
Gratitude.
hard to leave the criticism. Criticism is not just asking for what you want.
Yeah.
Criticism is when you're picking at somebody.
Oh, I don't like to be picked at.
No, me neither. Not at all.
Yeah, you're right. Criticism is different than feedback.
Oh, yeah.
If Craig is like he never would, but if he criticized like how I looked or how I parented, or if he was critical of me, that would really beat me down.
Yeah, it would not be fun at all. Yeah.
No, that would be hard.
Yeah, and I think that it's just the thought, the exercise of really trying to focus on saying, "Hey, thank you so much for doing blah blah blah," even if it's thank you for putting the clothes in the dryer.
Totally.
Or just all of those little.
I so appreciate how you put the dishes away every morning. Like something simple, taking the time to notice.
Yeah.
And appreciate that. That goes so far for me.
And to be, like for women, especially, I would be really unhappy if Tom criticized me in my appearance or
Very much so.
my weight or whatever it is. It would be really, really...
That'd be painful for me.
Well, and it would definitely be a division in your connection.
100%.
And it's just, I think that women need to be very careful about criticizing how their husbands look or boyfriends.
Yep. Yep.
And I think women would probably tend to do that more than men. But although there are men that will do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Nobody wants to hear that kind of feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't like that at all.
No, me neither.
Tom, you want to tackle 3?
No problem. Let me see here. Oh no.
I got it.
No, I've got it. Here we
Okay,
go.
you got it?
If the people you respected most saw your average daily interactions, would they say you're mostly receptive to your partner's feelings and needs or easily defensive?
That is a great question.
With me, that depends.
At least you're honest.
I mean,
It's probably the
depends
answer
what
for all
they're
of us.
Seeing, if they're seeing us fight, then I would not want anyone to see me fight with Maureen. But
Why?
because we're just like so. It's like a couple of cats. It's real intense, but then it's super chill. Like we truly are the most resilient couple I think I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
We can be back to normal in 5 minutes.
It is an amazing quality. You've mentioned that several times, and that is an amazing quality about the two of you.
But getting like whenever we're fighting about something, I mean, there's like screaming. It's like a couple of drunken sailors.
What would you fight about?
Lately it's just been about how we discipline Betty.
I can see that could be.
That's not uncommon.
Yeah,
Parenting differences.
I was raised very strict. She was not. I want lots of respect and discipline. She doesn't care so much.
Structure.
Yes, I want stricter. I want harsher punishments.
Does she get
Yeah.
upset with you if you're
we
too
just have a
hard
difference
on
of
her?
opinion. Like 2 days ago, Betty got her Apple Watch taken away for the first time in probably 6 months. And it's because she was being super disrespectful and smarty pants during the homework session that she was doing with Maureen.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm sitting there cooking dinner, listening to Betty. And after like 5 or 6 extremely disrespectful talk back comments that Betty made to her mom, and Maureen just not really doing anything, I just kind of lost it. And so at the end of that session, I grabbed the Apple Watch. I said, here, put it on the table. And she was like, can I have it back tomorrow? And I just started laughing. And Maureen's like, well, you got to give it back by the weekend, right? After,
You're like, whose
Betty
team
was
are you on?
After Betty was upstairs, she was looking at me like, she has to have that thing. That's how we contact her. And I'm kind of like, no. Yes, it
We
is a
all
convenience
survived.
for us.
We all
but
survived
she
without
will
it.
survive. It's a punishment.
And it's hard when
it affects you as parenting.
Or two different positions.
And I'll be danged
Really
if
difficult.
the very next day, yesterday, was the most easy homework session of all
I'll
time.
bet.
Betty was, there were multiple times where she would have snapped at Maureen, but she did not. And so maybe if she does today and tomorrow perfectly, maybe she'll get it back by the weekend. But I was intending at a minimum of a week.
Tom and I had a discussion yesterday about Tom. So Buddy the dog, that's our child. So Buddy will go to the front windows and bark. And it really annoys Tom, really annoys. And then Tom will kind of, Buddy, stop barking. And I get kind of defensive to Buddy. I'm like, he's a dog. They bark.
They watch people. They have reactions to that. It's like their entertainment for the day.
It is.
Totally.
It was so funny. I'm like, yeah, we're just kind of on different pages about the Buddy barking.
Good thing you guys didn't have children
No
together.
kidding. Buddy.
I do think this is a very interesting question. Like if somebody was on the outside looking in, what would they see? Would they see that you get defensive, or would they see that you are open and receptive to your partner's feelings? It's
About Buddy?
Anybody or anything.
I think my family would be appalled. I mean, honest to God. But it
is
works
so
for
funny,
us.
Tom. Yeah.
Like, that's the bottom line. They would think that I'm smart ass and not funny and disrespectful, but Maureen knows we've done 10 years now. We know how each
works
other
for you.
work.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It just like it's smoothed out, and I wouldn't change a thing.
Like you say, as long as it works for you. It's kind of like going away to the Jewel and your intimacy is your toes touching. And it works for the both of you.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key, is finding what works for the two of you.
And then if you have something that's really kind of opposing ends, because I don't like Tom yelling at Buddy, but then at the same time, I have to be very cognizant that he does a lot with Buddy and takes him out at night before he goes to bed and all of that, some of those things. So I have to,
And he's just looking at it through a different lens.
and he just, it just bothers him.
Yep. He's
two of
having a
you,
different experience with it.
The way you guys handle your conflict resolution, I'm sure, being both therapists and psychologists, but I'm sure it is way different than most people's. I mean, or is it not?
I don't know. I'd like to think so, but sometimes I'm like, God, like I spend a lot of time trying to help people do better, and sometimes I don't do better.
Who are you trying to help do better?
Well,
Craig?
No.
Your clients.
No.
Oh, your clients.
Yeah, for premarital counseling, if they're coming to me about how to communicate in conflict, and I'm like, oh, here's how you communicate in conflict. And then Craig and I get in conflict, and it doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
So, because at the end of the day, I mean, I want to do better. I know better, but it doesn't mean I always do better.
Yeah.
That's just the truth about me.
Yeah, it's true.
That's just reality.
That's
just
just
the
reality.
way we roll as human
Yep.
beings.
Okay, number 4. Are you quick to apologize, or do you let your pride and differing perspective drive your actions? I am very quick to apologize.
I'm not going to apologize for asking for something, or but it's if I have been unkind or
if I've acted outside of my value system,
then I will. It's pretty easy for me to say I apologize, and it's really easy for Tom too. He does it. And I'm not talking about Tom Bridwell, but I'm sure he does too.
Yeah. Are you? I bet you might take a hot minute, Tom. Am I right?
I don't really ever apologize. I just change my behavior to show that I'm apologetic. Does that make sense? The words I apologize don't come out of my mouth, but my actions are what says I'm sorry.
So if Maureen is upset about something, you're like, okay, duly noted. And then you're going to do something different the next time.
That, or I will
Or you're going to take her out for a really nice dinner and buy her jewelry.
Yes, I will do something that shows that I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't think I actually say I'm sorry very often, but I definitely make her understand that she was right and I was wrong, and that I get it.
Does Maureen apologize?
Not really, but I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of the same. We can just kind of tell each other. Maybe she does. She might do it more than me. I'm sure she does.
Yeah.
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 But she doesn't mess up very often, guys. She's pretty perfect.
Oh, that's cute.
I bet she is. You're a lucky man.
All right, Janice, you want to take 5?
Sure. Does your partner get the best of you, or have they been getting the worst of you?
Oh. I think Craig gets the best of me.
Well, of course, because you're not married yet.
Hey-o.
I can actually safely and honestly say that I think Topher got the best of me.
Yeah.
In 17 years of marriage, I think he really did get the best
But
of me.
didn't he have some part of you that wasn't the best?
Well, in 17 years, I'm sure
Yeah.
there were parts of me that was tired or upset or frustrated or overly emotional, but I think I'm pretty good about this in relationships. I'm not great at everything.
Well, I think that it is harder for sometimes for Tom to get the best of me if I'm overwhelmed with things on my to-do list, and so I don't have to. But I try to be really careful of being, if I'm annoyed or I'm just tired or have a headache or something like that, I really try to not let that
bleed into the relationship.
But I mean, it's not all, it's not Candyland.
No.
I mean, we're human, and so
Right.
we do have things that we disagree about, and sometimes
That's normal. I don't think that even disagreeing is not giving somebody your best. Like, I wouldn't put that in that category.
But I'm not gonna. I'm sure Tom does not get my best all the time.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could possibly get our best 100% of the time.
They wouldn't for me, because there are times when I get, but I don't yell or anything like that. I'll just kind of disappear. I'm going on a walk or something like that. You know,
Catch your breath for a minute.
Yep.
For me, and in my opinion, this is just a balance issue. Like, I do think that there are people who tend to take out their frustrations or their tiredness or their anxiety or whatever it is on their partner because, that's their batting cage. And so I think that's kind of the point of this. Like, are you...
Well, I think...
How are you showing up for your partner?
Well, I don't think that we can guarantee that my partner's going to get the best of me, but I can guarantee that he would not get the worst of me.
Right. That's a great thing to say.
There's
Maybe
a
that's our goal.
boundary there.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a great way to say it.
Yeah. So, in other words, not screaming or any sort of physical or,
Yeah, I think that is the test.
Yeah, I think so too.
You don't get my worst.
Yeah. And in my first marriage, I was not, I'm sure that there were times when what's his name? Kurt? Kurt did not get the best of me because there were some things that I wasn't very happy about, but I could have been more
You could have done
kind.
it differently.
Yep, I could have done it differently.
Okay. Tom, you want the next one?
Sure. Have you been treating them like a roommate or the love of your life?
Ooh. Well, I think when you've been with somebody for a long time, and I don't know, am I going to treat Craig?
You can do both.
Yes, that's my point.
The whole, oh my gosh, so you're the love of my life is such a corny
movie.
thing.
That's such a movie, Hollywood expression. Like, you're the love of my life. I think whoever you're with is the love of your life. Like, and if somebody said that to me, I would feel a little cheapened and a little cheesy.
I think it would definitely be a little cheesy for me. But I could say something like, I'm really grateful that I'm married to you, or something like that. It doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, you're the love of my life.
That just seems
But
very
if somebody
dramatic.
wants to say that could be really nice. But it's probably not going to come out of my mouth.
I think a ton of people say that. But I mean, when I was with Topher, I think I could have said, he's the love of my life. And now I'm with Craig. You're the love of my life. Yeah, like, I don't think either one of them are the love of my life. I think they're just two people that I've really loved.
The best ones yet.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The best ones yet.
Yeah, you're the best one
There
yet.
were several behind that one that made
You're the
you
best
look
one.
like you're the love of my life.
You're the
because
best
there
one
were
today.
Yeah.
So and I was going to say, I think Maureen is the best one yet because she's the best roommate I've ever had. I mean, it's like not even close.
God, I would die to live with your wife. I mean, the way that your home is decorated and always so clean.
It is
I mean, I'm sure
clean.
you have a lot to do with it too, Tom. I'm not saying it's all Maureen, but
Yeah, I mean,
she looks like a damn good roommate.
yes, yes. We both are. We make a great team.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
for sure. Because boy, there were some girlfriends back in the day that were just slobs, and it was the worst.
Yeah, that would not be fun at all.
Okay, I love this last question. Would you want your kids, this is a great question, would you want your kids to repeat what you model in their future relationships?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what a fabulous question.
It's a great question. And, I mean, Tom and I have moments of not thinking
being perfect.
We just
Thank
don't.
God.
Maybe we don't. I don't know. It's just but I do think that the way that Tom and I interact with one another, that if my children had been with us together, for a long, long time, that they would want to model that, because we aren't unkind to each other. We don't yell. Mm-hmm. We don't,
It's a very loving, kind relationship.
It's kind. Mm-hmm. And I think that, for me, is one of the most important things.
For sure. I have said to Craig, that is probably one of the things, well, not even probably, it is top 3 reasons why I can't wait to get married to him, is because I can't wait for all 5 of our children to
see that.
How we love each other, how we take care of each other, how we treat one another, our honesty and faithfulness, and even how we sort out conflict.
Yeah.
I think this is a powerful question.
I do too.
Because I also think, and I know, and so do you, that there are a whole bunch of marriages out there that people come talk to you, and all you can think about is, oh my God, what is this doing to their children?
Well, I can tell you this, that if you are in a relationship and that you yell at each other and are not kind or cuss one another out or whatever, it will affect their children, because they're satiated with that, and so it's like, okay, well, they did it, so then it becomes a habit of the children. So it will.
Yep.
It will live another life.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
Yeah.
It will be the gift that keeps on giving. Mm-hmm. And you don't want it for you. Why the hell would you want that for your children? And yet you're modeling, this is what marriage looks like. Mm-hmm. This is what love looks like.
I had a couple this morning, and I said they were talking about yelling at each other, and I said, and she goes, well, we just do it. That's just what we do. And I said, well, you need to stop it. Mm-hmm. It is not okay to yell at your partner.
It's abuse.
And it is abuse. Mm-hmm. And if the children are there, they're seeing it, and they will have that. They will already have the tolerance for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they will think that's normal.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So when I get angry or upset, I'm going to scream, because that's what Mom and Dad did. Mm-hmm. And Mom and Dad told the truth, and they were in charge, and they modeled right and wrong. And when you get mad or pissed off, you just yell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary.
It is.
It's actually really scary what some parents are showing their children.
So be mindful of that.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
And I speak from being a little kid whose parents did that, and it scared the shit out of me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't tell my parents that it scared me. I didn't talk about what it was doing to me.
Right.
But it was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible to be in that kind of environment as a child.
Yeah, I'll bet. My parents did not really fight.
Oh, my parents fought vicious.
Yeah. Oh, that makes me
vicious.
sad.
And it's really scary and sad.
It is.
I like these questions.
Me too.
I think they could provide some real insight and help to couples. So we hope this makes your week a little bit better. Enjoy this remedy.
Have a great week.
And thank you for listening.